any horror movie, but for one that's about the Vatican chief exorcist who in real life notoriously performed over 50,000 exorcisms. Feast your eyes on the Pope's exorcist, Father Gabriel Amorth, the founder of the International Association of Exorcists. Reality and fiction blurs because the movie dives into real terrifying events, such as Emmanuel Orlandi's disappearance and the actual Spanish Inquisition, and Amorth's beliefs about evil, such as, and this is real, Harry Potter. Amorth maintains that a good percentage of possessions are psychological, but the one in the movie definitely was real.
Whatever you do, you only do because God allows it.
Did he allow that?
Number 9, The Nun 2.
What happened?
I think there's something here that's not meant to be.
Sister Irene can't catch a break. It's 1956, France, and a priest is violently, brutally murdered, setting off another chain of events that leads to you watching for a possessed, demonic nun around every hallway corner. The Nun 2, the sequel, will startle you every 5 to 10 minutes. Tessa Farmiga, terrific. Bonnie Aarons as Valak again, terrifying. This time, Sister Irene isn't alone. She teams up with Sister Deborah to take down the nun once and for all. And Marvel fans will rejoice with the mid-credit scene.
Sister, please. This way.
Hello.
Number 8, Cobweb.
It's okay. It was just a bad dream.
Let's clear the proverbial cobwebs of truly terrifying horror films we've been missing with this first gem. Samuel Bodwin's Cobweb portrays young Peter, a boy who's plagued by what many of us would consider to be their worst-case terrifying scenario. Have you ever thought about what you would do if you heard a mysterious, insidious feeling tapping noise from inside your bedroom wall? You'd be counting down the hours to someone's demonic possession or the day a slasher killer would jump out at it. In Cobweb, the villain remains unseen for quite some time. Cobweb also has the components of a memorable horror flick that will leave you ridden with nightmares. A claustrophobic little boy, suspicious parents, and yes, a creepy, creaky old house that seems more sinister than welcoming.
Mom? Mom?
Number 7, No One Will Save You. Three words, give or take. That's how many words are spoken in this movie. While the decision to omit talking from a movie may seem outlandish, it surprisingly works for No One Will Save You. One night, Bryn is woken up by the sound of extraterrestrial intruders. You heard us right, launching us into one of the best and strangest UFO abduction movies to date. It makes sense when you think about it. To make up for the lack of dialogue, every other aspect of the movie is irreplaceable. If you're a fan of War of the Worlds, Signs, and oh, did we mention that aliens are telepathic? Number 6, The Last Voyage of Demeter.
He's coming!
Have you ever heard of bottleneck episodes in TV shows? They typically feature limited cast and locations. For The Last Voyage of the Demeter, the setting is nearly uniform. The ill-fated merchant ship Demeter, mentioned as the ship that ran aground after a storm in Bram Stoker's 1897's Dracula. Picture this. As if the open waters weren't terrifying enough, the claustrophobic feeling of being utterly trapped with the malicious, sinister presence on your ship. Andrea Vredel plunges you in this horror situation with a petrifying insistence on foregoing CGI, relying on terrifying storytelling and invoking true horror from the audience. By the way, this is coming from the director of The Autopsy of Jane Doe, so be prepared for a nightmare.
Evil is on board. Powerful evil.
We call him Dracula.
Number 5, The Boogeyman.
JD, there's something in my room. You believe me, don't you?
Yes, it's The Boogeyman, and it may be Stephen King's scariest story yet. The Harper sisters, Sadie and Sawyer, are starting what turned out to be the heartbreaking and traumatizing journey of grieving their mother. It all swiftly goes downhill when one of their therapist's dad's patients curses them with a supernatural entity, one that preys on pain, grief, and family suffering. The director, Savage, asserts it's the scariest King movie, and it's shaping up to be around the world. In fact, the boogeyman had to be recut because the original version was too terrifying. Test audiences were so scared that they missed vital details. The fact that we, the not a screen test audience, don't see the boogeyman for the longest time makes him more haunting.
Dad, you have to listen to me.
Okay. I'm listening.
Sweetheart, let me handle it.
Number 4, Scream 6.
We share a certain history.
Will Ghostface ever let Jenna Ortega go? Unlikely. Jenna Ortega and Melissa Barrera's characters have taken refuge in New York City, leaving behind Woodsboro and all its Ghostface memories, only for the killer to haunt them through the streets of the city that never sleeps. What makes Scream 6 so fantastic is how it portrays its homage to its predecessors. Scream 6 also delves into at-the-edge-of-your-seat horror feats. That 50s song crooning in the background of the sisters crawling on the floor of a shop while Ghostface chases them? Chills.
Please help me. Just down to the
Line here, girl. You got a problem here, guy?
Number 3, Evil Dead Rise.
It's me.
Don't let it take my baby.
Is Evil Dead Rise too scary? That is the question on many's minds as they watch Alyssa Sutherland, who embodies what might be horror's too antagonistic antagonist, Mummy the Deadite, taunt your children from the other side of the room. Petrifying is an adequate description. Scarring is another. Gory, blood, possession, nightmarish, and definitely not kid-friendly are other descriptions. The setting for Evil Dead Rise is a high-rise apartment building. After someone messes with the relic they definitely shouldn't mess with, true evil is unleashed, and it targets this family. Dread slowly builds and escalates into chase and haunting scenes that will have chills run down your spine.
So that we could stay one happy family.
Number 2, Talk to Me.
Cannot go for more than 90 seconds. Am I clear?
What happens after 90 seconds?
Don't want to stay.
Talk to the hand is a phrase often uttered by today's youth, who likely haven't yet seen this movie or they retire the phrase. Talk to Me is about a group of teenagers likely marked for life after they find out their own version of Ouija, their ability to use an embalmed hand to talk to spirits. On the surface, it's a movie about a haunted hand and possession. Deeper than that, it's about grief,